Hi, Ray. Lovely to meet you. Thank you so much for joining us. It's absolutely fabulous seeing your smiley face on the other side of the screen. And you're from City of Rockingham, is that right?
Yes, City of Rockingham.
And Ray, please introduce yourself to our listeners and our viewers. How long have you been a councillor for?
Okay, so firstly, I would like to acknowledge that this is Noongar Budja, Bibbulmun Budja, and that I work on. So I have been living as a Wongai person on Noongar country my whole life, and I have aspirations for council. And I originally ran in 2016, and I was 6 months pregnant doing my door knocking. And
Wow.
it wasn't until the next election in 2019 that I got that. Yeah.
How great is that? Congratulations. Goodness, we're
Thank
doing
you.
it when 6 months pregnant. That take a lot of courage and
Determination.
effort and determination. Absolutely. So how old is Baba now? 4 years?
She'll be coming up 3 this year, so in December.
And
And
how
I'm
have you
chasing her
found
around.
it?
I have teenagers, so luckily my older kids can help out. And I've been preparing my older kids for a long time. You know, this is my journey. I'm taking these steps to get elected to council. And so they've known that's on the cards for a long time. So they're very supportive of that, which is brilliant. Just planted those seeds, and they're happy to look after their sister and come to meetings and just help me out, which makes it easier.
Absolutely. So how old are your other children?
13 and 11. So that lovely teenage, I've got my hands full. And I think that just is a lovely balance because it keeps me connected and stable and grounded. That role of being a mum and in the community, it really keeps me grounded. And I think council can be very demanding in a professional capacity. And because I'm a mum, I stay true to being a mum. So I really enjoy that helps me and helps me connect while being at school and talking to mums, and it's a big part of who I am, actually. Yeah.
Wonderful. And you said earlier that you're the first Aboriginal lady that's been elected to Rockingham Council?
Yes, I'm the only Aboriginal person that's ever been elected to our council, and I'm the youngest female. So that's...
How old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
Yes, I'm 33, so...
Awesome. Congratulations.
Yeah. Thank you. And I think, that it was just a wonderful year this year. We had 5 new members, and it's the first time ever in our council that females have had the power of the swing, and there's more females at the table than there are men. And it's just a fantastic time to be in the room having these conversations.
Absolutely. And this is the 100th year of celebrating women in local government. So it's perfect that we have you as well at the City of Rockingham now as the youngest female ever. And please tell me, Ray, how long before you ran for council did you consider running, and how did that process come about for you?
Okay, so luckily for me, I've always been involved in the grassroots level of our community, volunteering, and I did junior council when I was a young person, so when I was in year 7. I went on to high school, and I remember as a young person, our mayor now said to me, "You should run for council one day," and I was 19, and I thought one day I will. So I knew it was reality then, and I guess the more people and community members that said, can you run because we're not being heard, can you run for us? And that voice grew the voice inside me saying, you need to step up and you need to do something and be the voice at the table. And so I guess I've kind of known for about 20 years that it's in my path. So it's a good time to prepare myself. And while I was working for council, I delivered junior council. So it was a wonderful way for me to understand the processes behind the scenes of what happens at council. So I guess, and once I committed, I was about 2014, and I said, yep, I'm going to run for the next election. And I went and did some training. I did some training over with Victoria LG, Go Women Local Government, and that was very empowering. So I knew that in 2015 I'd run for the 2016 election, and I knew that if I didn't get it the first time, I was going back the second or the third time until I was back at the table.
Absolutely, yeah. If you just keep going at it, then your chances get better, and you learn more and more about the process as well while you're running the election.
Absolutely, yep, and yourself, and you can understand your parameters a bit more and what you can do. You know, you evaluate. Okay, so how did it work out last election? What can I do this time to improve that?
So, how long out before the election did you start your campaign?
Well, I know there is a period, I think a month and 1 day before you can only actually do the door knocking. So I guess once I could, I was out there, rain, hail or shine, with that big Budjari belly, walking around saying, hi, remember me, I'm back again. Yeah, just talking. And I guess working in the community, I planted seeds already with young people that I'd been working with, and I already had a relationship. So if I was knocking on someone's door and, oh, hey, Ray, how you going? You know, it was easy to start off. And over the years, having that conversation, you'll be seeing me, so vote for me when I run again. Yeah, I guess the time built up my confidence as well, and that support base as well.
And so you were elected in 2019, so it's been about 7 months that you've been in the role.
Yep.
Or no, it must be more, 8.
Yes, yeah. No,
and
yeah.
how have you found it? How have you found settling into a council with, I guess you said 4 or 5 other new councillors? How did you find that process of firstly being accepted into council with some of the other councillors that already served, and secondly, how did you find your feet as a councillor?
Okay, I think because I'm a very independent person, I've just stepped in. Yeah, and I just rolled with the setting that I have. And we know that, you know, with groups, we're going to have a norming, forming, storming kind of group dynamic. And we don't really have any outside team building time. There's no really time outside of meetings that we catch up, that we get to build networks and time with each other. So I guess it's we all have our own lives, but it's, you know, you were talking to Lorna earlier. Sometimes Lorna will ring me and say, hey Ray, how was your week? You know, how are you going? Or I'll ring Lorna, keep connected. And that's what it's been about, with the new team members and the team members who were in the council before us, keeping connected and just understanding that the more we communicate, and the better outcomes we're going to have for our voters. Yeah.
That's really important, the teamwork that we have as councillors with each other, and that support that we need to give each other.
Absolutely.
It's sometimes really hard, and I'd love to hear your perspective when you get some of the trolling happening. I don't know if you're very active on Facebook on a councillor page.
Yeah.
So how have you found that social media space?
Okay, so with the training that I have been doing, we should be advocating for ourselves to be doing more personal promotion, and I think that's a good thing for ourselves, advertising ourselves. But it's difficult for me as a mum to be in a social digital platform and at the sink and talking to my baby. So I guess for me, I've had to go, this is the real world and this is the digital world. And if somebody saw me in the shop and said to me what they say to me on Facebook, it wouldn't happen. So I need to go, that if somebody is going to be that upset at me, they'll ring me. They'll have a yarn with me. So that world isn't always necessarily the real world for me. So I take that and sometimes you see a lot of negativity, or you see people from the community expressing their concerns, and it deeply concerns you. So how do you turn off from that? So it's, for me, I've had to go, this is digital world, this is the real world. And at the end of the night, turn that off, wash it off, and that's where you leave that. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, and it takes some practice as well.
And I
it's
think
not just
to empower people for that. Absolutely.
It's not just a switch. You've got to sort of practice it in your mind all the time.
Absolutely. Talk myself out. That's okay. If they're that upset, they're going to ring you tomorrow and have a yarn with you about that. Yeah.
So that's one of the, I guess, trickier things of being a councillor, or any public figure for that matter. How have you found, well, what have you found have been the most exciting thing so far for you on this journey as a counsellor? What have you enjoyed the most?
When you are making change in somebody's life and they take time out of their life to say thank you. And we don't always get acknowledged, or we don't necessarily want acknowledgement, but for someone to walk up to you, a stranger, and say thank you, that's value to me.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yes, we tend to hear mostly about the people who are upset, and there's something that's wrong at council according to them. It's not very often that we hear from the positives, and as you say, when somebody then actually takes the time to contact you and say thank you, you've changed this and that, it's just like you're happy to then hear from the 200 other people who are upset often, as long as you can get that one gem. That's right.
Absolutely.
So what has been the hardest thing for you as a counsellor?
I guess managing mum time and family time and grieving time. In my family, there's been a few funerals, so just managing that. In the last month, there's been 3 funerals, and so managing my family and my council. And I guess, COVID's, we've just gone back into meeting live, so now things will step up a bit, and I guess having the support of my family and being there for my family is important, and still continue to do my role in a professional capacity, and managing and balancing that. Yeah.
And do you work outside of council? Do you have another job?
Yes, I am a disability support worker. I'm an advocate. I do a lot of work with the homeless, and I'm a pair of hands for who sometimes, Ray, can you help us? So I do a lot of things, and I'm available. So yeah, sometimes mowing lawns or cleaning gutters, or if a lady's broken her arm, I need to go to our house and shower her. I'm available. That's how the community works, and I love that. I absolutely love that.
You must feel so good at the end of the day, because you're absolutely giving your everything to the community, essentially, and then to get that satisfaction of seeing that you've actually changed somebody's lives are just incredible. What would you say for any woman that might be considering, I think, should I run for council or not? What would you say to them?
Don't give up. Don't give up. Put your goal out there, and if you don't get in the first time or the second time, it might take the third time. And I've listened to women tell me that it took them to their 3rd election to get in, and that gave me power that I'm going to create change and I'm going to get in there one day. So that positive self-talk to yourself, it's okay. Don't give up. You can do this, and believe in yourself. And if other people don't believe in you, or maybe, how are you going to handle that? Don't doubt yourself. You got this. Believe in yourself. And as mums, use positive self-talk. Don't give up. You can do this. That's what I'd like to say.
And what is your work week or your council week look like in terms of workload? Would you mind sharing with us a little bit of an insight into how busy you are?
Okay, as the month progresses, it builds up, and then there's a little fluctuation. And now that, I guess, COVID really changed the shape of how we met, and we adjusted to that. And now we're going to go back into meeting in person. We'll go back. It's going to be a bit more full on. And when we're at home available to meet online or on Zoom, that's fantastic. And but I enjoy meeting in person. I'm looking forward to meeting up in person, and I know that my diary is going to get busier. So sometimes I'll have a few committee meetings in a week, or sometimes I might only have 1 or 2. And because I'm on a few committees, my schedule is a bit more busier than my other team members. So, sometimes a meeting might only be half an hour. Sometimes it could be 2 hours. So, we have our community development. I think I'm on about 6 subcommittees. So that's, now that we're stepping up, my diary is going to get fuller, but that's my decision. That's where I wanted to embed my voice into council and to make change. but we don't necessarily have to put our hand up for all of those committees. So that's dependent on everyone and what they want to do. So it could be a few hours a week, or it could be up to 20 hours a week, depending on where you put yourself.
Yeah, that's right. It's in a way, it's up to you in how much you put in or you don't want to put in.
Absolutely.
Do you have any advice for women councillors with children on how they can make it a bit easier for themselves, perhaps, or how to juggle both roles?
Yeah. The switching off the hat, sometimes turning off, getting out of the council meeting, coming home, turn off, I put my mum hat back on, and that's exactly what I do, pop it on, and then I go back into my mum role, and I'll debrief later with my husband. And when I'm with my family time's my family time, and after meetings, you know, we talk about what happens and before meetings, but try to have those good boundaries around, you know, this is council time. So maybe after 6 o'clock, you don't take any more phone calls from community members, because if they want to call at 9 o'clock at night and you want to answer the call, you might not be able to turn off for another hour. So I say to myself, 6 o'clock's the last time. You know, if someone's in emergency, they're going to ring you or the police or somebody else. But put that boundary, that council time stops at 6 o'clock and your family time starts there. And it can be very demanding if you let it. So have some boundaries with yourself.
Great advice. Absolutely great advice. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us. It's been really great to hear your story, Rae. And if you have any parting thoughts that you would like to share with our viewers, perhaps?
Go forth and enjoy yourself, and let this opportunity grow and nurture your life, because there's so many opportunities, and if you put more into it, you'll get more out of it. This can be, you know, a life-changing experience if you let it. And I'm looking forward to the journey that this will take me on for my leadership and where it will take me in the future. And I'm proud that I got here, and I wish everyone the best of luck. And if you want to do this, don't give up, ladies.
Absolutely. Wonderful words. Thank you. And I look forward to sharing your progress as a councillor just down the road from where I am in City of Coven, Rae. And if anybody would like to be in touch with you, would that be okay?
Absolutely. Yep.
Okay. Thanks. So we'll leave your contact details down below.
Lovely.
Have a lovely day, and thank you so much again for sharing your story.
Thank you for your time.
I'm sure it will inspire a lot of other women to just...
I hope so. Just go for it. Don't give up, ladies. Thank you.
Thanks, Rae. Goodbye.
Thank you. Bye.